I don't really have a plan for today, so I don't know.
That's
Let's
okay.
just we
Um,
can
I
just
I
chat.
have a new show coming out in July, and a new song coming out in June. So,
Ooh.
and I'm gonna get to go see. I just got to go and hang out with my boys again, with the Big Time Rush guys, and shoot some sketches, and it's been really
I
good.
love that. You need to tell them to come to Europe. I've been waiting.
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in Germany.
Oh my god! I think they're gonna do a European tour. I'm almost
I've
positive.
been waiting. I've been waiting.
Well, they should. They absolutely
Yeah,
should.
they absolutely should. So when are you coming to Germany?
I know. I've been on tour doing universities in the States this year. This is my first time touring, and it has been a fucking trip. Like, it's been very interesting seeing the country for the first time, really, in my adult life. Like, going to going to freaking Missouri and Kentucky and Virginia, like, and the difference between one school to the next is like, it's dude, it's bizarre, man. Like, I did a concert at one school where I was singing, and it was like 200 students, and they were like, the turnout's really good, and you're like, what? And then the next school was 5,000 students, and it was like, oh yeah, no,
That's
this is
crazy.
nuts, and they're like, this is nothing, like it's it's just very different from, like, I went to one school where I was like, who was the last speaker that you had here before me? And they were like, Condoleezza Rice. And I was like, what? And they were like, and then before that it was like one of the guys who had run for president, and then before that it was a football player. It was Peyton, not a football player. It was Peyton Manning. And I was like, what? How did you come to like Glickman? Like, How did you guys figure this was the move? So yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting road. I'm looking forward to being able to go overseas and do some shows.
I remember us chatting about it when you first went on the podcast when we were just like a teeny tiny podcast just starting out, and we talked about you potentially doing shows in Germany, and it was like mid COVID.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was before I had, like, I'd done like one show. I had done like one concert show in Ohio, and like the audience was all wearing masks at the time. So
Mm-hmm.
now I've done like 9 universities, and it's I've got a show under my belt. So now I can go do a real thing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool.
So what's the show coming out that you're gonna do?
Yeah, in July I've got a new show called The Guest List that comes out. That's really cool. It it's a show that like takes place in like my house, and where like I have celebrities like at a party at my house, and then I make them perform for the guests, basically. So that show drops, I believe, July 19th, and it's
Mm-hmm.
hilarious. It's a lot of very funny comedians. Haley Reinhart is on it from American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
Haley Arantia from the Goldbergs is on it. All the Haleys are on it. And then a bunch of great comedians like the Score Brothers and Nick Thune and Mary Lynn Rice Cub, and all these very funny people like show up and do stand up, and I like make them perform for my friends. And it it's like a show that focuses, like, each episode is like a different kind of focus. So there's like a mental health
Mm-hmm.
episode, there's like a self-care episode, there's a heartbreak episode about like getting your heart broken, and trying to get over a breakup. There's falling in love, there's like each episode's kind of got its own thing. And so it's 4 like hour-long specials basically that come out in mid-July. So that's pretty exciting. That's going to be a pretty damn cool show.
So where will people be able to watch it?
It'll be on a new streamer that's called Hitcore.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be where it's available, and I think it's a package where you buy all 4 episodes at once. I think that's the way that it works. I think it'll be very reasonable though, like a couple bucks to watch the whole show. So it'll be really cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
So, and then there's the song you have coming out.
Yeah. I did a cover of Montero by Lil Nas X, and we did like a kind of like a spaghetti western cover of the song, which is pretty funny, and it's pretty cool. And we went and shot a music video for it in like an old West village with like horses and a shootout and all sorts of crazy stuff. It's crazy, like, for sure. Like, it's probably one of the more bizarre things I've gotten to work on, but I love that song, and I just thought it would be so much fun to cover it, and especially do like a country western cover is just like such a crazy move. So I was actually on a date with a girl, and I was listening to the song, and she said, you can't listen to that song. And I said, why not? And she said, because that song was written by the devil. And I was like, what? And she was like, you don't know? Lil Nas X is a devil worshiper. And I was like, you need to get the fuck out of my car. And like from that moment on, I've been like kind of obsessed with it, where I was like, I have to cover this because that is crazy. Like, what an insane thing to say and believe. I was just like, screw this. Like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this cover at some point. So
where did she get that from?
I don't know, man. People are crazy in America. And you know what? I did it as like a surprise when I was at the University of Puget Sound in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And the reaction from the students was like bananas. Like, people were screaming when it started, because it just does not. It's just kind of a left turn, And I love surprising people and playing with music in different ways and stuff like that. And that's one of those, like what's it called? Like, whenever I go to a school to perform, like sometimes I'll pull out Mr. Brightside and just watch the whole room just pulsating from that song. Like, everyone's singing along. It's so great, and then to turn it around and be like, all right, next song is Montero, is like pretty fun. It's a pretty fun thing to play with,
I can't wait to hear it. I'm honestly so excited. When you sent me the cover, like the cover alone, I was like, ooh.
Oh, I'll send it to you for sure. That would be cool.
But like the cover art is also like really cool. I was like, oh, let's go.
Hell yeah. I know. It comes out June 23rd.
Oh, so still like almost a month to go.
Yeah, almost a month till it comes out. I'm so excited. I can't wait for it to come out. It's gonna be fun.
I mean, the song itself is just such a hit, and I love like country, and then I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be something for sure. really talented drummer producer named Buddy Gibbons.
Mm-hmm.
He like I brought him like when I when I was working on it, I was doing kind of like a cover, like a Sting cover of it,
Mm-hmm.
like if Sting were to do Montero. So we were just kind of doing it in kind of that style, and I
Yeah.
brought it to him like that, and then slowly it just became this big rowdy country song, and yeah, I love it. I love how it turned out. It's so fun.
Uh, but like besides music, how's life been? How's life been
You
treating
know,
you?
life is doing it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm trying to I got to hang out with the Big Time Rush guys for like the first
Mm-hmm.
time in almost 2 years, and that was super rad and so fun. And we got to make a bunch of comedy sketches together, and I dressed up as Gustavo, and we shot like a bunch of sketch stuff, and like delivered lines from the old TV show, like as part of it. And it was a trip, dude. It was a trip. Like being, you know, wearing the glasses and doing the stuff, and with like Logan and Kendall and James. It's like that's not something that I've done like in the last 10 years. It's been about 10 years since we've done that.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it was so fun and so silly. And I mean, I could barely look at Logan in the eyes because he did a little like bonk on my nose, and I was like, I was dead. And it was really fun, like hanging out with them and kind of seeing the their dynamic and how it's grown. And yeah, it's a trip. It is a trip to we've known each other all for so long that
Yeah.
it's really neat to like see the progression there, and that's been really cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing them in concert. I'm going to go to their Forum show here in LA,
Mm.
so that'll be cool. And yeah, like otherwise, life it's been pretty good. Trying to do all the things. I'm trying to date, but it makes me want to throw myself off a bridge. So that's
Oh,
yeah, that's
yeah.
hard. That's
Yeah.
probably the most difficult part of my life right now, is just getting back out there and being on like apps and things. How do you do it? How do you handle any of that?
I don't. I'm on so many apps, and I there is this one guy who is the reason for my commitment issues. Um that's been like, that whole thing was in 2020. So since then I've been like, I'm on Tinder, I'm on Hinge, I am on Bumble, I am on Raya. I
I'm right there with you. I'm on right now. I have five, so I'm on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Raya, and um, Match. And the Match is terrible. Um, B- Bumble has probably been the least successful for me.
Same.
Hinge is maybe second in like least successful, and
Mhm.
then um, Tinder and Raya have been the best. Like because Tinder, it's like it just seems like a crapshoot. There's just so many people on there
Mhm.
that like sometimes, but also like I get messages like from people who are like, "You're not real. Who are you? If you're you're not real." And then you're like, "I am real," and that's weird. That's a weird thing to have to like prove to someone that you're real, because then you're like,
Yeah.
are you interested at all, or is it just because of this, the
Yeah.
stuff? um I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like I started cuz like on Tinder, I bought Tinder Gold to like I don't I don't have time to travel, so I travel on Tinder. And which is dumb, but I'm like they don't want to cuz I tend to ghost guys when they're like, "Oh my god, let's meet up." Like after like two sentences. I'm like, "Let's
Right.
talk a little bit first." I don't want to get killed.
Sure.
So I start talking to guys who live like thousands of miles away because I'm like, they can't immediately meet up with me. Like, we can FaceTime,
Sure.
and if you're serious about this, fly, come here,
Right.
show me you're committed.
Get a passport
Yes.
and fly. That's a move. You know what? I went out on a date once with a girl, and this is 100% true. I go, the woman. I was on a date with this woman, and I go. She goes, so you were like on TV or whatever, and I go, yeah, and she goes, I never saw it, and I go, that's okay, and I don't care, and so then, but it was kind of a weird way of saying it, and then she like had a drink, and then she was like, oh, by the way, question, like, did you write the songs on the show? Like, did you write worldwide? And I was like, I thought you'd never seen the show. And she was like, oh, I saw like an episode one time because I have a cousin. Like, don't get a big head about it. And I was like, okay, no, I didn't write the songs. And I only wrote Snickerdoodle. I wrote that song. That's it, And then,
which is the most iconic one.
So iconic. Top of the charts, And then she was like drinking a little more, and then she was like, is James nice? And I was like, I thought that you've only seen one episode. She was like, whatever, I saw a few episodes. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to take you home. And I drove her home. And when we got to her place, it was a Holiday Inn. And I was like, do you live at the Holiday Inn? And she was like, I may have flown in. And I was like, what? And she was like, I matched with you on travel mode, and then I flew in to go out. Because I've seen every episode. And I was like, what?
At least she's committed.
Anyway, we've been together for a year, and no, I'm just kidding.
We have 3 kids.
Mm-hmm. Honey, say hi. I'm just kidding.
She never leaves my side.
Exactly. She won't leave.
She has me handcuffed to her.
Yeah, it is weird. It is very weird, that travel mode. I've tried to set that travel mode up a little bit, but it's tricky, dude. It's tricky. You're figuring it out.
I'm still single, so.
Hey.
But as soon as they want to meet up, I'm like, let's not.
You're like, that's a red flag, and then you just throw your phone in the open.
No, but my friends are like, Mal, get out there, and I'm like, I am on the abs, but like, I don't know. I want to get to know. I read so many books. I want like that perfect like either enemies to lovers, but I don't have any enemies, or like a friends to lovers, but like that way I need to be friends with them first. And meeting someone on like a dating app and becoming friends first is like
friends to lovers
in like 100.
I think friends to lovers is the best possible situation, because then you have somebody that cares about you as a human being. Exactly. And you care about them, and there's like all the stuff, their stuff, they know your stuff. It's fantastic. Like that's the best, escaping the friend zone,
But I'm just by myself. I'm not bisexual. I'm by myself.
Oh, that's hysterical. That's really funny. Oh, I love that. So cool. I love it.
I'm trying not to be. But like,
well, you also have to deal with like, men. Like,
Yes, exactly.
like whatever story I have about women, catfishing me or being like, doing weird shit on a date, none of it compares to what you guys have to deal with. Like, I would not trade places. That is,
Men are crazy.
yeah.
And the amount, like, I was talking to this guy from, I think he was from LA. We were talking on Tinder at first, and then he was like, "You got Snapchat?" And I was like, yes." And we were just chatting, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm at work." And he was like, "Oh, I'm about to go to sleep." And I was like, "That's fun, because time zones." And then he was like, "Can I show you something?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Not even like a sneak peek?" And I was like, "No." And then he like unfriended me on Snapchat. I was like,
Oh my God.
he didn't send it.
Well,
thankfully.
yeah, thank God for that. The
But
hell is the matter with people?
But like you want to see something, and I'm like, do I give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, yes?
No,
But I was like,
I have a rule. If I'm dating somebody, or like I'm I'm in the courting of a person, and they send me a sexy type picture, the picture that I send back is me doing this. Nice job, great job, awesome.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
You're doing super great. Hey, great job. Like, I never would ever send back. Also, it's because I, worked in children's television. Like, I'm not sending things like that. Like, that's never happening. No. But yeah, it's too, you gotta, man, guys are too eager to be doing things like that. Yeah. It's like men, if you're watching Girl Stuff podcast, do not send. Don't send. You want to send? Draw a sketch of it. Draw an artistic. Get a paintbrush.
Not even that. Like, it's not pretty.
No one wants to see it. What we would rather
see. What I personally would rather see is, like, I find like hands attractive. And like hand veins, I don't know. Send me hand pics.
Hey, send hand veins. You heard it here, boys.
Send hand pics.
Send them some hand pics.
But when they have like dirty fingernails,
you know what I've been just doing? I've just been sending pictures of me on a horse. Just like, oh, hello, I'm on a horse. Just like, yes. Yeah, cowboy hat on. That's it. That's enough.
I mean, what have we learned from like Pete Davidson? Funny works.
Yes. Be funny. Be funny. Nobody needs the rest of it.
Looks are just like, looks are not eternal. Humor, personality, that shit sticks.
Yeah. 100%. Exactly. Pete Davidson, good for him, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Making it work.
I don't know how he does it.
Well, it's personality, and it's like people, it's just like in acting and in this the entertainment industry. It's like half the reason why people get cast in movies and television and stuff is because the creator of that show or producer is like, I want to hang out with that person. That's it. It's like, if you have a vibe where people are like, oh, I want to hang out with you, that's enough to get a relationship started, Yeah. And I think Pete Davidson has that vibe. I think he puts out something where people are like, oh, I want to hang out with Pete Davidson. He seems like a fun guy,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's better.
I mean,
that's better than being like, I went to the gym. Is that a sound that guys at the gym make?
I don't know. I don't go.
That's what it feels like. The sound they would make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just weird grunting.
This took a weird turn, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mel, I really appreciate it more than you know.
I mean, I went into this interview. I just literally got home from work and I didn't prepare anything. I was just like, let's see where this takes us. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's always fun.
And I was right. I was right.
Yeah, well, you're very
'Cause,
good
like,
at what you do. You're very good at it.
thank you.
So
I'm always so nervous before interviews. I wasn't really nervous before this one because I was like, I've spoken to you before.
yeah,
But
you and I are cool. We're pretty cool, so it's all good.
also, like, you're an OG on this podcast.
I know. I was on it a long time ago, back in the day.
Yeah. Where people were like, why? Because we were like, girl stuff. And then it was like, Steven.
Right. They're like, why is
But,
Steven
like,
on the show? Why
yeah.
is this happening again?
I don't know if we ever told you why we reached out to your PR team.
No.
Because we were talking about, like, who could we have on? Because we had, like, finally figured out how to get, like, PR agents, like, emails.
Yeah.
And Hannah and I were chatting, and she was like, who would you want to have on? And I was like, you know, I have two people who would be really funny just because, like, I connect my childhood with them. And it was you, and it was, I forgot his name, but the guy who plays Coach Bolton on High School Musical. I was like, two adult men that would just be funny to have on. And your team, like, they emailed back pretty quickly, and they were like, Steven would love to. And I was like, ooh.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I love that. I love it. I had a great time last time. I had a great time with you this time. It's always fun to talk to you. And oh my God,
Even
it was
though
the
it's just
pandemic
me this time.
Like,
yeah, it was the pandemic.
That was a crazy ass time. Like, I was living, I'm living in it, being like, what other things can I do? What other projects? What else can happen in my own home? You know? Like, I started making stop motion animated projects, like I was on Parks and Rec, and I would like work for like 10 hours, and I'd have like 6 seconds of footage. Like, it was like, just, I was doing all the things, all the weird projects, and trying to make stuff and paint and make music, and terrified that I was going to get COVID again. But
I still haven't had it.
Wow, really?
I feel like if I got it now, it would just be like a waste of time. I was like, I had like COVID scares, but I never actually had it.
I've had it twice. Sucked both times. Like, first time was right at the height of the pandemic, and the second time I landed in Florida to perform at a bar mitzvah. Which is actually, it was a pretty good gig. I was supposed to roast the entire family.
Oh my God.
And so I wrote like pages of roast jokes for their whole family, aunts, uncles, researched the family, the whole bit. And I landed in Florida and was like, oh no. And I like went in, tested positive, and then I couldn't go to a bar mitzvah full of old people. I didn't want to kill everyone.
Yeah.
So
Yikes.
yeah, that kind of sucks. But you got to do what you got to do. It was a weird time, but we made it through. We made it through, Mel.
We made it through. We made it through.
Survived. Yeah.
So how much would it cost for you to come to my 24th birthday and roast everyone there? Because I feel like that would just be a blast.
For what? For me to go where?
To Germany for my birthday and roast people.
Oh my God. Hey, we can figure something out.
I don't have money, but like
cookies. I work for cookies.
I once for my birthday I tried making cupcakes, and I wanted to make 18. And I was following a recipe, but then I freestyled and made accidentally like 64 cupcakes. So I got you.
Oh, I'm down. I'm down for that. That sounds great.
I'll feed you. You can sleep in my basement, which sounds creepy, but we have a guest room there since I still live at home.
Wow. Okay. basement it is. Basement it is. A basement in Germany. It's what I've always
It's nice.
dreamed of.
It has like a like what is it, a king size bed? I don't know, but we have like 2 beds down there, a TV, a karaoke machine.
Is that where you're from? Are you from Germany?
I'm from Germany, yeah.
Wow.
Born and raised.
But you don't have like any accent.
Thank you. I worked really hard on that because I hate the German accents so much.
It's a heck of an accent.
I don't like it.
What is it? What does your accent sound like? Can I hear like just a little bit?
I can't do a German accent because this is just how I talk, and my friends make fun of me for sounding American. Like a couple of days ago, no, like 2 weeks ago, I was at a concert with friends, and one of them is British, and obviously, so she has a British accent, and she's like, "Mal, you sound so American," and then I was like, "I do not," and then they kept repeating everything I said with an American accent. And then they were like, "Oh my god, you're so Valley girl," and I was like, "Shut up."
You really do have like a pretty flawless American accent. It's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Like I'm so used to the German accent being like, "I will be on the GIRLSTUFF podcast. So excited to be on the podcast today." That's what
yeah.
That is what I hear when I hear that accent. That it doesn't sound that you don't sound anything like that. It's not even.
I'm glad, because you don't want to listen to that for an hour.
Tell me about your music.
Yeah, let's do this.
I love it. It's so great. Well, we'll have to figure out a way to get me out to Germany so I can come do some fun stuff out there.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you need a photographer or a groupie, call me.
Absolutely. Hey, stay in touch, and I'll send you tracks and things, and we'll talk really soon.
And we'll get you to Germany.
Oh, hell yes. What a dream that would be. That'd be awesome.
And that's girl stuff.